You'll now be the 42nd starting quarterback since the Browns came back.
Hey, that's a good number.
I don't think I've ever seen people this excited. Like, they really love that guy.
I mean, he's Deion Sanders' son, so he should be, he's fine with that.
A lot of NFL vets, backup quarterbacks, they've been in the league. You feel me? I'm just coming out of college, you know.
That's his first time playing, and there's probably some movements there that you want to eliminate.
You could do that, but the monsters are back there.
I just like new challenges, so it's going to be fun.
We're looking for anybody to give us a spark right now.
I think it's going to be exciting.
You know, we're going to tailor it to what he's comfortable with, tailor what he's confident in.
I know a lot of y'all going to be there. I know you can't miss it. You cannot miss this moment.
You know, he's had that starter mentality, so I'm excited to see him this weekend.
That's our job. We got to get after him, and, we plan on doing that.
I feel like I'm the guy. I know I'm the guy, but, you just have to be able to see.
Vegas, baby, yeah! The Death Star, as they call it, Allegiant Stadium, home to the now Las Vegas Raiders. Some of us still call them Oakland every once in a while.
Oh, yeah.
Some of y'all still might call them Los Angeles, Reg. I don't even know. They've been around a bit.
Quite a bit.
They are where the Browns will be today. Hometown getting 3.5 there if you're into the short-term financial markets. Mark Schwab, Josh Cribbs, Reggie Langhorn with you on a Sunday game day, and it is the first start for the career of Shedeur Sanders. Let's start here, guys. After seeing the limited amount of him last week, how you feeling right now going into this?
I'm feeling pretty good. He has had a week to grasp what he needs to be efficient in this offense as the quarterback. On the flip side, you don't actually get a week. There's not 7 days, 5 days, 6. You get 3 days. So he has 3 days as a starter going with the ones. I expect to see more from him. More production, being more comfortable back there throwing the ball, and more on rhythm, even just 3 days. I expect to see better than last week.
Yeah, I mean, him coming in the game last week was a big plug for the whole city. Everyone seemed to get overly excited. I was downstairs under the tunnel, and all of a sudden I saw these extra people going out when they found out that he was going to get an opportunity to play. And I think the excitement is real. I hope that the offense has been geared to things he's like to do. I hope they can not turn the ball over today. He plays solid, and then we'll get a chance to see if he has that thing that's going to take us to the next level. We would love not to be able to have to draft a quarterback next year. We would love to find out whether or not he can truly play. Then will today make break him? I don't think so. But I need him to play well. They are the Raiders. We just watched them on Monday night get blown out by the Cowboys. So I'm looking forward to seeing how he reacts, how the running games takes place, how they protect him, and give him a fair opportunity to get the ball downfield.
Progression.
Go ahead.
Progression, right? And it's what I wanted to see from Dylan Gabriel week to week. And we didn't see that.
Correct.
Right? And I was wondering, like, when are we going to move on from that? Because the progression went backwards. So I don't, I want to see a lot, but being realistic, just a progression from last week. I want to see, he got better. I want to be able to say that after today's game.
Let me ask you guys something. It was sometime this week, Kevin Stefanski, in one of his chats with the media, said, when Dylan Gabriel is healthy and back, he is the starter. Why would he lock himself in that way? Maybe Shedeur goes out and throws for 300 yards today and they score 45 points. Why do that if you're the coach?
I think him being in that situation as the coach and Dylan already being named the starter, starters don't generally lose their spot when they're injured. And a starter is injured balling out, right, for his team. It's not right to just say, he's not going to be the starter. It's Shedeur Sanders' opportunity now to become the starter, to give the coaches such a case that we know you progress, but Dylan still's a starter. But it's his opportunity now to say, you played so well, you got to stay the starter. We want to see where this goes now. And that's what he has the opportunity to do today.
We've seen these stories a lot throughout the time in the National Football League where the kid that gets an opportunity to go out there and perform, and he performs so well that you cannot bench him. And we play home next week, and I guarantee you, if this kid plays well and they win this football game, he'll be starting.
Now, this is a overstatement just because of who he is, but this was the same case and can be the same case as a Tom Brady Tom Brady was a backup.
Sure.
And injury made him the starter.
Things happen sometimes. Shedeur wants to ball out, and he needs to tonight. Tailgate, off and running here on 19.
It's my cologne, LV. I think everybody should have like a cologne or a fragrance of like the season or the year. And for me, I switched it up from Meteore to this right here. I've only gotten good reviews, and I feel like everyone should, just continue to mix it up, diversify, and find something that really fits for you. Don't rub it together. You mess up the scent when you do that. When you do this, so don't dull the scent by rubbing your wrists together. Just let it sit.
Now, Bench Strength, sponsored by Wayside Furniture.
Oh, Miles selling cologne. That stuff's going to skyrocket in sales here in Cleveland.
I have a word cologne says Brute 33.
Brute, there you go. Old Spice was not available at that day.
Yeah.
All right, so bench strength. We're just going to reference Mike Hall here because he did, he contributed, right? He did have a sack, a couple of QB hits last week against Baltimore. We're still kind of waiting for his career to take off. I think we're still kind of waiting for that whole draft class to take off. They're all on the bench. Mike Hall was their top pick in that draft. Obviously, he was a second-round pick. They didn't have a first-round pick because of the Deshaun trade. But it was Mike Hall, Zach Zinter, never plays, Jamari Thrash, Nathaniel Watson, Miles Harden, Jawan Briggs. Most people might be looking at that and going, who are those guys?
Yeah.
This, as much as we talk about the 25 draft and what kind of an impact he's had with that, with Andrew Berry's selections there, he has not had a good one for a little while before that. That 24 class looks bad.
Well, most draft picks are hit and miss. There are going to be guys that are drafted in the first few rounds that you would consider they should make the team. They should be an impact player. But unfortunately, if you pick the wrong guys, that's just kind of the luck of the draw. The bottom line is, if I'm picking 7 guys, at least 3 of them have got to be big-time players for my football team, or that's a horrible draft. So right now, that's a horrible draft.
Yeah.
But this year, you got 4 guys that are starting that are rookies, and one might be the defensive rookie of the year, which is pretty good.
Yeah, that was 50-50 right there. Yeah. If you get 7 guys, at least 3. I mean, and you're following analytics and the interviews and everything like that. So if the analytics as well, and you saw the tape, and everybody collectively around the league has this guy or those guys at that draft, they're probably the whole draft, positioning just was off that year. You got to look at the whole class and see who was next and who would you have taken, who was on the board at that time. You have to look at it as a whole.
I would really like to know what is the progression of how they get to the bottom line of who's the guy they're going to pick. Like, who's I would call it a football guy. I always think like that. Like, there's one guy that I don't look at a computer. He goes out, meets the guy, watches him perform, and he can tell from the inside some of those intangibles that can't be plugged into a computer. And I wonder who is the guy that does that for the Browns, John.
But it's also based off of the need, right?
Yeah.
Like, if it's 2026 and the draft is up, I know a lot of big guys need to come in here that's playing on the offensive line.
Right.
So it's based off of a lot of need, too, for your football team.
I want to talk coaches here for a minute. It's Kevin Stefanski, obviously, for the Browns. Pete Carroll coaching the Raiders at this point. Who would you rather have as a head coach right now?
Here we go. And this is it, right? It's been a lot of great coaches that had great careers, but their careers have ended, right? Not because they're not here anymore, because the thrill was gone. The league changes, players change. Your coaching style may not work any longer. Pete Carroll is with the Raiders, and they're not doing so good, right? But he's such an awesome coach. Why isn't his awesome coachingness working with the Las Vegas Raiders? They've been in so many cities. It's hard to, I almost said Oakland. So it's a toss-up, right? And it's not a fair toss-up. I'd rather have Kevin Stefanski. Pete Carroll is not hot right now. I know we can go off his career, but the NFL is a what have you done for me lately type of NFL league.
What I've seen out of Pete Carroll is that this is his first year. So this is his first opportunity to actually get this team up and running. So you give him 3, 4, 5 years, you're going to see a different football team. Pete Carroll has won a Super Bowl and been there twice. Pete Carroll has won national championships. So he knows what it takes to get to those type of football games.
Reg.
And I think this being year 1. Stefanski's been here 6, and we've only won 2 games.
I'm biased. You go off of stats. Pete Carroll has the best resume.
He's got a better resume. That is true. By the way, we made up another word. A couple of weeks ago, Reg gave us footballness. Today, Josh contributing coachingness. Coachingness. We're creating vernacular as we go along. The tailgate continues right after this.
Reg is building it.
Hey, great Sunday morning. It's game day. Good morning. And I got to give a great shout out to the awesome artist, Dr. Zoe Stewart, who is absolutely the reason why I am standing here so festive on Sunday game day, getting ready for the Browns. Seriously, Zoe, I can't thank you enough.
No, we're all happy for you.
You matter.
The Injury Report, sponsored by the man that makes them pay, Tim Misney.
Oh, that's so good to see. A week ago, we were on pins and needles with BK19. Gets the transplant Monday. Looks phenomenal for being, 6 days removed from major surgery here. The comeback trail continues for Bernie Kosar. This is the injury report today. Jack Conklin, the big one for the Browns. Gabriel Wright, thrash all out. Reg, if you're here, I feel like Conklin's always questionable. This something happens when you're here, and our guy is on the fence with playing, and they really need him. I mean, he is one of their better pieces up there.
And I think Max Crosby plays on that side majority of the time. So, Big Jack, we need you today, baby. We need a victory. We need everybody, all hands on deck.
Yep.
That's what you need, right? And it's the battle of attrition. I mean, you got to keep guys healthy, and it's just unfortunate that our offensive line has been an issue, right, in trying to figure out these quarterbacks. So I hope he does well
Where
today.
we're going next. 3 of their starting 5 offensive linemen are free agents after the year. The 2 under contract are Conklin and DeJuan Jones, who I still think they're trying to figure out what he is exactly. So of the 3, Bitonio, Posick, Teller, how many of those would you try to get back, understanding Bitonio might just walk away and say, I'm done?
What's the market for these guys, right? And a lot of times, GMs, general manager, and the staff, they want to see what the market is first before they can, evaluate, business-wise, like what's the pros and cons to having this guy? Are they healthy? Because that's been the issue. Can they, if they keep one of these guys, who's likely to be, playing? They're not playing too much right now. Right. So that's why I said the draft is important. Free agency is important. But will these guys be able to help us as they get older? They're not there too often, right? And we need them. This offensive line has been banged up for years. And I'm not sure that they have too big of a market because of their age and them being available on game day.
Yeah, I go back to when Callahan was here coaching the offensive line, and they went through 3, 4, 5 tackles, but yet they played very good football. So I'd like to make sure we got someone here that can get the best message to these offensive linemen. But I'm going to put a big emphasis on offensive linemen because if I have to draft another quarterback or one of these young guys that we have now at quarterback, I still got to protect him.
Yep.
You got a stud running back there, some nice young tight ends. You've got to still get an offensive line. And I'm not talking about per season. I'm talking about having somebody that's going to be able to block for you for 6 or 7 years to have some consistency. I have no clue why our linemen are always hurt. It just boggles me.
Tackles,
year in, we get the same thing. So let's get a guy like Callahan back in the building to educate, to motivate some of our new linemen that will be
and he's available, I think, right?
Sir.
Yes,
he's out there. All right, guys, one of our favorite segments of the program, producer Chris takes 2 players, removes the names. We call it blind resumes, QB1, QB2. Through their first 23 starts, they're the numbers. Who would you rather have? I like 2.
Go ahead, Reg.
1 loss, 11 1 loss. I'm going with wins always, baby. I'm going with number 1.
Yeah, wins.
The personal statistics are good, but I like number 1 because he's got more W's.
He's got more dubs.
Yeah, there you go, number 1.
All right. So, drum roll, please. You just chose Drake May over Joe Burrow. I will take Joe Burrow every time with a bullet, but I'm a little biased because Joe is phenomenal.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Did you take 2?
I took 2.
Did you cheat? Did you see that?
No, I saw way more yards.
Okay.
And the records, neither guy was above 500.
Gotcha.
One guy had 2 more wins, but the other one had a tie. At that point, the win total was pretty close to me. I saw way more yards.
Wins make you safe.
What's that?
Wins make you safe.
Wins make you safe. All right, we are 4:45 and counting away from kickoff in Vegas. Is that a live picture? Sun just coming up? Oh, man, that's a pretty shot. Tailgate continues right after this on 19.
I'm more of a field type of person, so that's how I learn. That's how I do everything. I'm going to just watch it. It's just going to happen. No, like, I got to be out there, feel it. I got to move around. It's like so many details that it takes for me, to feel my best and play my best. And I'm doing everything in my power, and the team's doing everything, to help me get prepared.
Now the Pigskin Poll, sponsored by your Northern Ohio Hyundai dealers.
All right, we do this every week. Take a question, put it on the news, and ask the folks to go vote. And then they vote. We talk about it here on the show. This one, how many passing yards will Shedeur Sanders have today? Obviously, if you're going off what you saw last week, you're going to pick a low number. If you're a truther, you're going to go high. Gentlemen, where are you at on that?
He said if you're a truther, you're going to go high. That's an interesting statement there. I think over 200 yards.
You're between 200 and 300.
Yeah, if you saw the volume at which he came in the game passing, he's not calling his own plays. They were calling passing plays for him, and we were still in the game. We were leading, and he had a significant higher amount of passing plays. So I think it's going to be over 200 yards today.
Well, I think it's going to come down to the running game. At the end of the day, if Judkins can get off to a good foot and sustain drives and make third downs, I think he can still get over 200 yards. The thing is, don't turn the football over and just kind of lead your troops down the field and let the talent around you take over. It's not all on you, Shedeur. You don't have to do it all. You got other guys on your team that if they can help you make plays, if Jerry Jeudy catches the ball and makes a play, if Bond makes a play, if Njoku or the other young Fanny makes a play, all those things are going to be what's needed today.
You're speaking to play calling, though.
Yes.
Like, if they call the good play, let that running game, define itself, and that passing game will take care of itself as well.
I want to ask you guys something, because I watched like we all did last week, and the thing I felt like is he just held the ball too long. Was I wrong? It just felt like I count to 3, and usually the ball needs to be out, and the ball was never out. It just took forever, and that led to a lot of those sacks. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong. I wonder if, they're not in his ear. Hey, if it's not there, do X, Y, Z. Take your check down. Take what the defense gives you, and if it's not there, hey, let it sail. Throw it out of bounds. Get out the pocket, throw it out of bounds. Let's not do that. Let's keep it going. I even wondered that when he was in Colorado, when Pat Shermer was his coach. Hey, are you coaching him to do the right things and to have the right reads and the progressions? Like, is they not telling, or is he just not getting it, right?
Right.
So those are the things that I think about when I feel like he's holding the ball too long, and speaks to Reggie's point, he doesn't have to do it all himself.
Right.
Yeah,
Let's check out the results. Go ahead, Reg.
No, I'd like to be able to look at the 3-step drop, 5-step drop, or 7-step drop, exactly what the progressions are during that process. I mean, because if you're going to go 3-step and get it out quick, the ball comes out. 5-step is kind of a flare where you get 10, 12 yards. When you're going 18, 20 yards downfield, the drop is longer. We're not being able to sustain our blocks on the offensive line. I think you got to mix it up. I think you got to create opportunities where you run the football and you dictate to the offense what you want to do and give yourself a chance to take your shots. The thing is, Dylan Gabriel wasn't as accurate as we would have hoped him to be. I mean, he didn't turn the ball over, but yet he didn't throw anything that we said, oh, my goodness, that's our quarterback.
Right.
That's what Shedeur has to do today. He's got to make sure that he gets it on the guy. There are going to be times in this football game, and there always is, where a quarterback will see color. So he'll see that silver and black close to the orange. The orange has got to win. The guy on offense has to win. He has to put the ball where the guy, the offender or offensive guy, can make a play on it.
Throw him open. Right?
Throw him open. Absolutely right.
I don't think a lot
but
of
guys who are young are afraid to do it because of picks. But I say, hey, man, if I'm going down swinging.
This is wild to me. All right, this is reflecting that draft class we just talked about. The Browns have 4 conference offensive players of the year from last year. Fannin of the MAC, and you can say it's the MAC, that's fine. Dylan Gabriel of the Big Ten. Dylan Sampson of the SEC, Shedeur in the Big 12. That doesn't even account for Quinshon Judkins. They have 4 offensive players of the year and Judkins, and they can't score.
Yeah, that makes sense, huh?
I see. It's funny. I'm going back to them stats.
What's that problem, Josh? How's that work?
Now I'm going back to them
Don't be
stats.
afraid.
Now coaching. You're going to say coaching.
It's coaching.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, Shedeur's only played the half game. Maybe he's the guy that changes it all around. We're going to send you out with a shot of the Sphere. This building looks incredible. I don't know what it looks like inside.
I want to go there.
I don't even need to know what it looks like inside. That's amazing. Tailgate continues as we send you out with something from the OBR, handling those Raider tight ends. They are pretty good. We'll talk about Bowers in a bit. Stick around.
Around the AFC, sponsored by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
All right, gentlemen, we're going around the AFC. The game of the week in the American Football Conference, probably the Colts Chiefs, I got to believe, unless there's something else here that gets you excited.
No, that's a really good game. You know, the Colts were knocked off by, you know, an unfavored team. However, they're still, I think they're the top seed still, right? They off of one
I believe
game.
they got the most wins in the AFC, yes.
Yeah.
They're the top seed. That's going to be a heck of a ball game with a quarterback that people thought was done, and Daniel Jones. So I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, the one thing with Kansas City is, though, they also got beat up a little bit last week, and Pacheco is no longer with the organization. I mean, he's hurt, so he's not going to play. They haven't had a running game in a while. One of the receivers is still banged up, so you don't know what you're going to get from the Chiefs.
That's the playoff picture currently in the AFC. People had been excited when you saw the schedule a while back about New England and Cincinnati for reasons we popped up earlier on the blind resumes. It was supposed to be Drake May against Joe Burrow. Burrow, they thought he would play. He has been ruled out for this game. He is expected to suit up on Thanksgiving night against the Baltimore Ravens to complete, which would be a rapid-fire comeback. People thought he'd be December, maybe even January, or out for the year. Ready to go in November. Flacco, obviously going to be out there with the shoulder. He said this week he hopes he has done enough in his time in Cincinnati to get a starting gig next week. Obviously, next year. Obviously, that's up to the powers that be in the NFL. Is he good enough to be a starter, guys?
He's good enough to be a starter, but for a team that probably doesn't have a QB remedy, right? So no team wants to have a 40-something-year-old quarterback lead their team out unless they have to, unless there's no other choice. Then he's the best option. Only if he's the best option, you know, like what the Steelers did with, Aaron Rodgers. There were no other options or remedies for them at quarterback. And that makes, him advertising to some.
We thought was the Browns this year.
Exactly. But you want a guy for your future. Flacco might be a one-off. He may have success, but then you talk about how further can this guy go, as our quarterback. At any moment, his age could put him out, an injury or so. So you have to have another guy, either drafted, sitting behind him, waiting to be the next guy of the future. So he very much well can be a starter behind a second or third round draft pick that's waiting, and he's waiting for his opportunity after Flacco finishes.
I like what Josh says there, and yes, there's 32 starting quarterbacks in the National Football League. He's probably better than 5 or 6 of them for sure. Now, he is also over 40-some years old, but you take this and you can look at it two ways. He was here for 4 games and did nothing. And then the next week he goes to Cincinnati with talent around him, and he throws the ball 400-some yards back-to-back weeks. So that means his skill set is still there. If you protect him and play defense behind him, he can help someone win football games. And there are a lot of quarterbacks in the league that are not better than Joe Flacco. You just got to have an offensive system that makes sense. What we did here with Joe didn't make sense. We couldn't score points. There's a pin missing in the engine that we cannot score points.
Yeah.
But he needs talent. He definitely needs talent, especially at his age. He can't go to a team that doesn't have a running back. Right. He can't go to a team that doesn't have viable receiving core. Like this, at his age, he doesn't.
I don't want him throwing it 40 times
guys.
a game.
Yeah, he needs guys.
Say Arizona wants to move on from Kyler Murray.
I think they very much will.
Feels like a fit, right? You got Marvin there. You got McBride there. Michael Wilson's come on. They can run the ball.
Temporarily.
What's that? Yeah,
temporarily.
Right.
But they're still going to search for the possible future via draft, and it may not come in the first round.
It may not. Joe was fun with all the folks around him in Cincy. I don't know why it didn't work here the way it worked as well down there. I don't know if it's just about the receivers. How many sacks can the Browns get on Geno Smith today? Geno Smith. That's a guy Flacco might be able to go in and do better than. He has not been good this year at all. Tailgate continues right after this.
has always played at a high level.
Big dude that can run fast, but he has all the moves. He got speed, he's got power.
Yeah, it is crazy, though. It's crazy. He be putting up Madden numbers now, so.
When it's all said and done, it's going to be the greatest thing to do it.
It's a gladiator sport. It's tough. It's not easy, never easy.
There's no weakness in any of his game at all, and his effort is really good, too.
Do you think he's got an 8-sack game in him? I hope so, Tom. It'd be a good game to start that.
Now the Quick Picks, sponsored by your local Kia dealers.
All right, quick picks. We're going to talk about Myles Garrett. He was a quick pick for the Browns at number 1 many years ago, and for good reason. He has been phenomenal. We're going to frame the conversation this way with Myles. Is he the best Browns player you guys have seen in your lifetime?
That's real interesting, and I'm interested in seeing what Reggie says, because he's seen a lot of good football, throughout his years. But for me, definitely, right? Not just Browns, but in the NFL. I've seen this guy jump over a line and block a field goal. I've seen teams try to block him and have 3 guys. 3. I mean, like, when he shifts to a different side, they shift 2 other guys to the different side. I haven't seen that in the NFL. I honestly, I haven't seen a team take 2 guys and just wherever he goes, they go.
Yeah.
And so the things he's done, when I talk about great Browns players, we'll have to say, besides Myles Garrett, have you ever heard of a Browns player? Because he's in a class of his own. He's an elite class, in an elite class of his own, and it's not just for the Browns. He's one of the greatest to ever do it at his position.
I agree with Josh as far as being the best player that I've seen play here. But as far as the whole league, I'm going to hold that back, because I remember when we would get the other team on Wednesdays, you put up the pictures of the defense you were playing, and they would always put a circle around 1 or 2 guys. But when we played LT, they put 2 circles around him. Like, this is going to be a problem. Myles is heading in that direction, and I won't hold anything back from him. What he's doing is remarkable as a football player for the longevity of his time here in the National Football League. Much respect to him. He's making it happen. I mean, the guy's hit, 9, 10 sacks in 3 or 4 games. I mean, no one's ever done it like that. He's on pace to break the record. When you do things like that, it gets noticed, not from just the people in Cleveland, but throughout the NFL.
I think you're being modest, and I love it. When you mention guys like LT, there are some great defenders. Yeah. I have their football cards. Great defenders that I've saw with my own eyes. Football Follies and Super Bowl Sunday. But to see this guy, right, jump over the line, I mean, to see the attention that he getting, right? Yeah. In some offensive meeting rooms, they just forget everybody else on the defense. If this guy makes a tackle, right, I'm going to take you out the game.
You're right.
I mean, that's the level of – and every team is unanimous in this. Yeah. If you let him get multiple sacks, we're just going to have to fire you as a coach. That he gets coaches fired. If they let this guy get a season day.
Yeah, there's only one guy you got to stop.
One guy.
That one.
I'm expecting multiple sacks from him. Not the Browns.
I remember,
from him.
I remember us trying to do that to LT, and they said, we're going to run the ball at him. And then we look at you like, you sure you want to do that?
Go ahead. We're like Clint Eastwood.
Is that what you want to do?
You want me to block him too?
Make my day. You want me to block him too? You mentioned the one where he jumped over the line, and that was one of those. For me, I can't remember the game this year. It might have been Green Bay. But there was some poor schmuck left tackle lined over him. And we'll send it to break with this. And Myles did this thing where he, half-step right. And then he seemingly teleported to the left. He glitched so quickly.
He glitched in real life.
If you're watching this in real life, like on tape, you're thinking there must have been something in the Matrix. That just people aren't supposed to do that. But that's what he can do. He's incredible.
Fun to watch.
He is amazing. Las Vegas, the scene today. Browns and Raiders. We're going to get into the Raiders here next. They got one guy to me that can cause a problem, and then they got other guys that are just causing too many problems for them. We'll talk about it next.
Now, who needs to deliver? Sponsored by Jets Pizza. Jets, better because it has to be.
If it don't look right, blame it on me.
I would tell you that I've never been 2-8 as a head coach, so I don't. This is new.
I keep saying this, man. If something don't look right out there, blame it on me.
I got to do a better job with the calls and getting the guys in a better position.
It's rookie year. It's a tough year.
To ask guys to do something that they can't do, isn't smart either.
Car break down going to work, blame it on me.
You expect Aiden to be 2 or 3 on Sunday?
Yes.
If your kids mess up at school, blame it on me.
All right, live from the Raiders there. Gino up front saying, blame it on me. I think a lot of people will.
Yeah.
Their offense has been very bad. He has not looked good. He had some great years with Seattle, or good years with Seattle. You feel like if the Browns can't get to this guy, like, we got a problem. This feels like a game they should be able to stick them in the mud a little bit.
This is going to be a good gauge for where we are as an organization or a football team for 2025. We're going to start a new young quarterback. We've got a nice defense. Can we hold them back, make the move offensively, and make some things happen? I'm going to say this, and in this, I'm a big guy with this, is I've got 3 or 4 stars on offense that I know can play. Fanning is playing well. Njoku can play. I know that. And then you got Judkins in the back. I'm getting those guys the ball every opportunity I can. I'm not toying around with everybody hoping this guy catches a ball or runs it. My offense is going to go through the guys that I know that can put the ball in the end zone. That's it. I'm going to focus on that because they're the guys that have been doing it for me. And everybody else, stand back and watch or block somebody.
Gino has the ability, and under Pete Carroll, and the Raiders have the ability to play well against the Browns. They have the great opportunity to play well in this game. I've seen teams, lesser teams, the Jets, come out and do well against this team. I'm not worried about our defense. Our defense will handle business. They will do as much as they can until the offense isn't helping them, like we've seen when Dylan Gabriel was at the helm. This is why not only does this game excite me with Shedeur at the helm, but they have an opportunity, a change, a new offensive coordinator, and now a new quarterback. So I don't doubt that Gino will be getting sacked by Myles Garrett, but if we handle business on offense, this game will come down to the wire.
We flashed up Brock Bowers, and now we got Crosby here on the screen. I said going into the break, the Raiders have like one guy. They have one guy on each side of the ball that can be a problem. Those are the 2. You talked about those red dots and red circles.
Right.
Those are the guys. Crosby on defense, Bowers on offense. If it's not those 2, they don't really have any playmakers because Ashton Genty just has not developed yet. They're running back. He may, but right now Bowers is the show on offense. Crosby's the guy to stop on defense.
Now, Judge, let me ask you, do you think we have the talent well enough to overcome this game here with Vegas? I mean, there's no reason to even think that we should lose to these guys. It just shouldn't happen.
The offensive line is huge. It plays a huge role in setting the tempo, right? Because we talk about guys like Judkins, who's been able to find a way despite, right?
Yes.
But at some point, we're going to have to throw the football, right? And if we can't find that rhythm, it's going to be a long day for us. It's going to be a long day for the defense because we may have to punt the ball too much. We're going to be able to bottle up Genty. We're going to be able to bottle up Gino. But for how long, right? How long can we do this without that offense support? So that's the only thing I'm looking at. The offense comes to life under Shedeur. This is going to be a win because our defense will feed off of that, and they will play excitingly well.
Stay out of 3rd and long. Stay out of 3rd and 9, 10, 12. You've got to win on 1st down, but you can win with your running game or dink and dunk it to get me 4 or 5 yards on 1st down, and then we have them at our mercy. But if you do not stay ahead of the chains, you're going to have a problem.
All right, that would you don't want 3rd and long would be bad for Shedeur. They call it the Death Star. Allegiant Stadium, the scene today, 4 hours, 16 minutes and 18, 17, 16, 15 minutes to kick off. Tailgate continues right after this.
Follow the Money, sponsored by Cardinal Credit Union.
Yeah, it's the approach we take. We're gonna dominate and try to win the fourth quarter. It's what we do in practice. It's what we do in the off season. It's what we build our core culture around, is being the more physical team. And you have to recruit physical players, and they have to buy into that process. I don't know that a lot of these kids nowadays, they want to check. They don't want physicality. And if you have the check and no physicality, you end up with nothing. So we're not just getting checks at our place. We're hitting people.
All right, so that's Georgia head coach Kirby Smart, and it doesn't have to do with the Browns, but it has to do with football. I know college football's changed a lot.
We're hitting people.
And he says, we got guys that just want paychecks.
Right.
They don't want to get physical. You guys played college football. You didn't have NIL back then. You know what it's like, how physical you have to be. When you hear that, you hear the kind of mentality that college coaches are dealing with today. How does that hit you?
Well, money with young people is going to be a problem no matter how you look at it. Most of us were immature, too immature at that age to be getting $1, $2, $3 million. It's unheard of. So I can understand that. But at the same time, he seems like a coach that Georgia is going to do business like this. We're still going to search for the best, toughest football players who still have a focus on playing the football game, rather than the guy who wants the most money for NILs. And I don't think you can do anything different, because think about it. If I'm 18, 19, 20 years old and you give me $2 million, I mean, I'm going to lose my way probably. I know I'm a troubled child.
I'm going to lose my way.
I'm going to lose my way.
I think of it like this. Two things can be right at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
These big colleges have been making so much money off their athletes and the winning. I mean, millions, right? And these young men, they come from nothing, and they have opportunity to get a little piece of the pie. They need mentors. They need good, real coaches to explain to them the landscape. If you're that coach and you're the head of that program, don't get those guys. Get the guys that's hungry, that's going to play for that money that a lot of guys say tank the game of football. But these colleges have been making millions off of them for years.
And I'm in agreement with Josh without a question. The thing is, the culture of football teams will be different. You take, and I use this for the NFL, the culture of you going into New England when Brady and Belichick was there means you're coming to play football. We don't care about your checks. The culture playing in some of the teams that weren't that good were the exact opposite of that. Get what you can get and get out.
Yeah.
So if you got Ohio State, yeah, those guys are getting paid a lot of money, but the idea of not playing for this football team, the Ohio State University, is completely the must. There's no way around it. Yeah, you can get the money, but we play ball on Saturdays at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Culture.
That's a big deal. Culture.
It's the culture.
Yeah.
That's it. All right. I want to talk about the Raiders as far as where they're placed. We've showed where they play. We've shown Allegiant Stadium a couple times. It's a new building. It's one of the gorgeous new facilities in the NFL. When you played against them in L.A., Reg,
correct, in the Coliseum.
Josh, you played in Oakland down there.
Correct.
I mean, I know you haven't been here, but I don't know, when you see a place like this, it's so corporate. What is it like going to the Black Hole, or for ULA, and it's a dog pound type environment compared to that?
I mean, obviously playing in the Coliseum was a big deal because USC played there. So you just seen some of the things that are taking place. But for me, and not just that, but for me it was the Washington Redskins at that time, which is the Washington Commanders playing in RFK. I grew up in Virginia, so that place going there was I was a kid with my eyes wide open, excited about being in there. And that's the way it used to be, Cleveland Municipal Stadium.
Intimidating
with painted dirt on the field when it got cold. So it was the same way for me that. And Al Davis always came around and solicited every player on the other team.
Really?
Yes, he
Tell
did.
me about that.
I was going to draft you. If they don't get you. If you ever need a home, come on out here to the Raiders. Al was like that.
Yeah, and he had significant draft. He was very particular in the players he drafted as well. But the Black Hole for me, I told my parents, I used to tell them, hey, don't come to this game. I ain't trying to get in the stands and try to fight no fans for you guys. Don't come to this game. If you're looking at that, the Death Star as they call it, I think that's equivalent to Dallas Cowboys Stadium. When they first built that stadium and had the suites on the floor.
Yeah.
I imagine that's how the new Brown Stadium would look. In the same fashion of this new revolution of football.
So being down on the stadium on Sundays now, and all of the nice leather seats all around it, they paid a lot of money to sit in the lazy boys and lay back. Now, I can tell you, if you set those things in Municipal Stadium back in the 80s, nobody would have bought those seats.
Different
That's just
type
the
of
way it
football.
was around here.
It's a different type of football.
Yeah, different kind of football.
Different kind of folks, different kind of environment. We popped the threads up there for a minute. We got the white helmet look. We only got about 30 seconds left. But white helmet, white. I love that look.
Yes.
I love that helmet. That looks great.
The white out.
Well, hopefully it counts for W's.
And that's
At the end of the day, it is just laundry.
But you can look good when you win, too.
You can look good. You'd rather look good and win than look bad and win.
Hey, a big shout out to my buddy BK, my quarterback, my friend. I wish him well and all the things that he's going through, and we wish the best for everybody in his family. Just lost his father about a couple months ago, so it's been hard on his mom. God bless you, brother.
We love you, Bernie.
Yep, Bernie had the surgery on Monday. We had a little clip from him earlier in the show. BK19, one of the all-timers here around town. All right, we got one game today on 19. It is the Browns and Raiders. You'll see it at 4:05. For Josh Cribbs and Reggie Langhorn, I'm Mark Schwab.